All right, let's look at the homework 1.6, problem number 2. All right, so let's find the inverse function for this given function. All right, so first thing we do is we're going to try to solve for x. All right, so before we, in order to do that, I don't like this fraction, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 1 plus 3 e to the x. All right, so you're going to get, so y times 1 would be y, and plus 3 e to the x times y would be 3y e to the x, and that's equal to, right, e to the x, because the denominator cancel out, so you just have e to the x. All right, then we can let's see, I'm gonna put all the x's on the right and all the y, everything else on the other side. So I would probably subtract 3y e to the x, so that I can move this guy over to the right hand side. Right, so we get y is equal to, right, so you have e to the x was already there, minus, right, 3y e to the x. Right, since e to the x is in common, so I'm gonna factor e to the x out. Then you get, let's see, if you factor e to the x from e to the x, you have 1 left. If you factor e to the x from negative 3y e to the x, you're going to have negative 3y. Right, so we have that. Alright, so the goal is to isolate x, so we need to divide through by quantity 1 minus 3y. Right, so we get the y over 1 minus 3y is equal to e to the x. Alright, then we can take the natural log of both sides. So you have a natural log of y over 1 minus 3y is equal to, right, natural log of e to the x would be natural log, or maybe I should write that, natural log of e to the x would be, right, natural log and exponential function with base e would be inverses of each other, so it cancel out, so we have just x. Right, once you have that, we can just switch x and y, so we get, so I'm gonna put, so x becomes y, right, is equal to, right, so I'm gonna write it as a natural log of x over 1 minus 3x, right, and this is the inverse function. Right, so let's plug it in. Right, so we have natural log of x over 1 minus 3, oh actually I forgot what it looks like, 1 minus 3x, right? 3x. Right? So let's double check. Submit for testing. Alright, it came back and looks like we found the correct inverse function. Alright, that's it. I hope that this was clear.